Today's guest is a very dear friend of mine. We met when we were about 6 years old playing Little League football, and we've been brothers ever since. After a standout career at Jefferson High School, he chose to pursue his academic and athletic goals at Alcorn State University, where as a true freshman, he was the team's leading rusher and finished the year with 6 touchdowns. Niko Duffey, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, bro. Talk about where you're from. Tell everybody where you grew up, how you grew up, everything like that.
Shoot, born and raised Tampa, Florida. Grew up Jackson Heights, same house ever since I was born. Both parents in the house. Brother and a sister. And it's just a blessing to, almost see 20.
Yes, sir. My son about to see 20 soon. Tell everybody about our birthdays. How you, my son, man?
I'm actually older than him. He looked about 30, but I'm really older than him.
Chill, bro. Not 30. Talk about
2 weeks.
Man, how do we meet, bro? Talk about how we met up.
Did we meet, bro? We met Bandits, right?
Gotta be.
Bandits. We was on the same squad. Pee-wee, one of the youngest squads, and we just been brothers ever since. We played football together for about 3-4 years, maybe even longer, and we just been brothers ever since. Then that transitioned to basketball, and just went up from there.
So, bro, before we get to that, talk about like how you started playing football, and like how did you start to love football?
Really, I came from a football-based family. Like, my dad went to FAMU. My brother played at Liberty. So football always been in my blood. And, they put me in it. And I've been playing since I was 6. And, I just loved it ever since,
Yeah. Little League days, who was like that for real, man.
Yeah, man. It's just, that love you got for the sport,
Shout out all the guys, everybody that we play Little League with. Man, we can go on and on.
Everybody. We still cool with them to this day.
No cap. Talk about how I got you to start playing basketball, how you started playing basketball, man.
Really, because I knew you was, playing basketball, and I was like, shoot, I think I want to try it. Since you was playing it, so I was like, shoot, my brother playing, so I might as well play. But shoot, you told me to get on it. I played. It was fun though, good experience, try something new.
It really started when we were playing Little League. I really didn't start. I think I started playing basketball when I was like 7 or 8. But we was playing Little League since we was like 5. So like it was like probably 2-3 years I've been playing football. I was a good football player, I say. But I just started playing basketball. All of a sudden we can't. Hey, chill, bro. I seen that. But all of a sudden, like we came back to like playing football, and I was talking about like how I started playing basketball and playing basketball. And then when the Little League season finished, I started playing basketball like year round. And like I know, like when we were younger, like a lot of people like that we played ball with was like they didn't really think I was playing basketball for real, but like over time it just ended up becoming like what I wanted to play for real. But AAU, man, we've been playing sports. We played sports together our whole life, bro, till high school for real.
So was football your first love?
Yeah, I like football. Bro, I used to love football, bro, but it just like I was like bro, be for real, I was actually straight. I could have played football.
Yeah, you was good. You was good.
I ain't gonna act like I could have went to the league. Maybe I don't know. That's all up in the air. But I was like, football was like a natural thing to me. Like I was like just good at football. When I started playing basketball, I was like not like I was kind of sorry, honestly. Like I was good like before I started getting like organizational, and then Like
Right.
when I started playing real basketball, I wasn't that good. I was traveling, doing all kind of crazy junk like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like as a kid, I was like, I just liked it. Like I was watching like LeBron, and that's really how I just started like watching like people like that, LeBron, Kobe. And I was like, even though it's not like as naturally easy, I'll just like work hard and just try to get better at it. And then once I got good enough to play, it was just up from there really. But
Stretching your craft.
I miss football. Like I always miss football. I watch college football all the time. Like Saturdays, since college football back, that's all I do every Saturday. Just watch games. NFL is like, I watch in the playoffs, but I still love football. Just basketball, just what I ended up doing.
Yeah. Sure.
How easy? Like what went into your decision on not playing basketball no more? Like when was it? When did you know it was just time for you to just lock in and play football?
8th grade. I think that was my last year playing 8th grade. Like I knew I wasn't.
It wasn't
Really,
your thing. Like you
I
was
stopped
kind of
because
just playing. You was kind of just playing because all of us was playing and like that. Like it wasn't what you like love to do. But
don't get me wrong, I liked it, but it wasn't like my love. Like I love football, and the other thing is because my height. Like I knew like people playing that's 6'3", 6'4", like you. I'm what 5'9", 5'10".
My son.
Anyway, so like after 8th grade, I was like, yeah, I'm just focus on football. Try to get into a university. On scholarship and shit. That's what I did. Yeah, focus on football.
Had to. Definitely was like everybody. We all knew that was gonna be like kind of the decision at the end because you was always just like we could tell football is what it was, but it was fun playing basketball together and stuff like that for like all those years. Like, bro, we didn't play. We could go play basketball right now and probably bust some dudes right now, no cap.
From the games to the hotels to the houses we used to stay at. It was fun.
That was the best. That's probably like the most fun I ever had like in my life. Just all the AAU days, like because Little League we was kind of like we wasn't traveling for real and we was like young, but like AAU we kind of like started to grow up. Like everybody, like it was AAU was a good time for sure.
It was fun, man. I miss it. We getting old. We getting older.
Facts. Shout out to all the guys. Gotta have all the guys on here soon, man.
Sure.
Talk to me about getting to Jefferson. What was it like when you first got to Jefferson?
Oh man. Shoot. So Jefferson was one of my top 3 schools that I like applied for. So it was Tech, Hillsborough, and Jefferson. I was working at Hillsborough because my uncle was a coach, so I really thought I was going to Hillsborough, but I ended up going to Jefferson because like they accepted me. But started out on JV, and eventually moved up to varsity. And when I moved up, I fractured my ankle my freshman year, and after it healed, the rest is history. But yeah, Jefferson, I'm a forever bleed blue and gold. That's my school for life. Shout out to everybody, that went to Jefferson.
Talk to me about when you hurt your ankle. I remember I didn't remember until just now, but talk to me about when you hurt your ankle and how you had to recover. Like, what was your mindset like trying to get back?
Shoot, it happened in practice. It was unfortunate. Somebody landed on my ankle. I didn't think it wasn't broke, but it was fractured. I didn't think it was as bad as it was, but it was a little fracture. Kind of a setback, because I was, just had moved up from varsity. So, I had to, show what I had, but I couldn't at the time because, I fractured it. But, yeah, it was going into the off season. So I didn't really miss too much. It's, I had time to recover, and I was running track at the time too. So, you know, once it healed, you know, I got into track. I wasn't taking it serious like that, you know, 'cause I was just fresh off an injury. But, you know, I was running track, you know, to get it back, you know, strength-wise. And shoot, when the other season came back around, I was fine. But, you know, I just knew I had to work, you know, because it was, you know, people ahead of me, and I wanted, you know, be the first guy to, you know, start. So
When would you say that you started to take like football more seriously than you had in the past?
beginning of high school, you know, especially when I moved up to varsity, because I knew, like, you know, this was either you got to go big or go home. Like, if you don't get a scholarship, then that's it. You're not playing football no more. So basically my sophomore year, you know, going into, you know, playing varsity ball, that was when I started, you know, thinking like, dang, I can really like take this to the next level. So that's when I started getting real serious about it.
So basically, after you moved up to varsity, it was kind of just like it was up from there. Talk about your your high school career on the field. Like, what were you able to accomplish? What do you wish you could have accomplished? What were your goals? Just talk to me about your whole high school experience.
You know, sophomore year, that's when I really started playing. You know, I had a decent year. I think I was a little under 1,000 yards rushing that year. And then going into my junior year, that was my breakout year. I had 1,300 yards. I think I got the single season rushing record for my school. And you know, senior year, I didn't do as good as I did my junior year, you know, because, you know, a lot of things happened at the time. But those 3 years, my sophomore, junior year, and senior year, I was also running track, and I went to state all 3 years. You know, I was on the 4x1 team, did long jump, and did hurdles. And at one point, I went to state for all 3 of those events. So it was a fun time, you know. I can't complain. And as far as track, you know, track helped me with my speed, my agility, because, you know, it's a lot you have to do, you know, to perfect track. And, you know, you can bring what you learned from track to the field. So, you know, like I said, speed, agility, yeah, those are really the main 2.
Would you recommend that people, like athletes in high school, play 2 sports if they can?
Definitely. Just like one of the reasons why I play basketball, you know, get my win, you know, keep my win up, you know, just stay active, you know, do something on the off season. Because, you know, a lot of people don't do stuff in the off season, you know, because they think it's just like, oh, it's the off season, I don't have to do nothing. But, you know, having 2 sports, like, it'll allow you to, you know, stay focused and, you know, still be active, you know. So I would recommend it for sure.
Describe your game to somebody that's never seen you play. Like, talk about how you play, what you like to do, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, man. I think I got a little bit of everybody in me, you know. One of my favorite players is Barry Sanders. So, you know, I try to implement him. People say, you know, I got a running style like Eric Dickerson. Try to throw in a little bit of Le'Veon Bell. So all the people I look up to, you know, just try to combine all that into one. You know, I'm quick, I'm agile, you know, hard to get down. I'm small compared to, you know, other people in my conference, but, you know, that's why, you know, it's kind of hard for them to bring me down because, you know, I'm so agile. But yeah, just take that and run with it.
How much have you heard that, like, people saying that they don't think you're big enough to play at that level, or you can't take a hit, or things like that? And how does it motivate you to just keep going?
It was a lot of times, man. Like, especially my senior year, you know, when coaches were coming to the schools, you know, recruiting. You know, some people, you know, said I was too small, you know, to play, you know, at one of those big time schools, and that just motivated me, you know, to, you know, get stronger, get faster, get bigger. And yeah, especially going into my freshman year, you know, I got a lot of playing time. You know, at one point I was a starter, so you know I just took that, you know, that negative energy, and I made it positive, and you know it kept me focused, and it, you know, made me who I am today. You know.
I already know you heard it a lot, cause man, like just being bros, bro. I heard that so much, like, oh, he ain't gonna do this, he ain't gonna do that, he too little.
Mm-hmm.
But like I already knew what the deal was. I wasn't even hearing none of that from anybody really.
Sure.
What would you tell yourself, like starting off as a freshman again? Like, what would be your best advice you could give yourself?
In high school or college?
High school.
Shoot, just stay focused. You know, it's gonna be a lot of temptations. It's gonna be a lot of, you know, demons that's gonna try to lure you off the path that you want to go to. You know, just keep staying focused, keep grinding, keep, you know, keep being determined, and you know you'll go far.
Talk to me about your recruiting process and like when you started to see your stock rise.
Going into my junior year, you know, I was receiving letters. You know, coaches would hit me up on Twitter, or they would come to the school to see me. And shoot, that increased going into my senior year, because you know my junior year I had a breakout year, and then yeah, so I had 3 official offers that were real that I could like commit to. I had West Point, I had Utah State, and then I had Alcorn. You know, some things happened that I can't really get into, but you know, I'm at Alcorn State now, and I don't regret it.
Talk to me about getting to Alcorn and what it was like. Like just the whole vibe, the experience. What's it like being at HBCU, and also what's it like being an athlete, a college athlete, a student athlete?
It was different, you know, because Mississippi it's a whole nother scenery. You know, I'm from the city, you know, and Mississippi is just, you know, woods and the country. But yeah, going to a HBCU, you know, I would recommend it 100%. You know, it's fun. You with your people. You know the vibes is different, and like it's unmatched. Like it can't get any better than the HBCU. So I love it, and I would recommend it to everybody, especially people of color.
How was adjusting to like the college lifestyle and being away from home, being away from the fam, and just starting to become a man, doing stuff on your own?
It really didn't take long, you know, because I was here in the summer, so with the football team. So, you know, took about 2-3 weeks, you know, to get adjusted, and you know that's when I started to like, wow, like I'm really out here on my own, like I don't have mom and dad with me, like, so you know I gotta boss up and you know do my grown man stuff, you know. But you know, it's freedom, and you know it didn't take too long to get adjusted to it, you know. And I'm far away from home. I'm 11, 12 hours away. So, you know, I don't have a choice but to, you know, grow up.
Facts. Shout out to mom and dad, man.
Shout out to Pops and my dudes.
But I kind of feel the same way, because like I came up here in the summer also, so like, but I'm a little bit closer to home, so it's not even, it's kind of not the same, but it's still the same kind of concept. It didn't take too, like when you playing sports and stuff, like it's not really too hard. Like it's hard if you don't know how to manage your time, but if you know how to manage your time, it's pretty easy, because like your days are pretty much scheduled out for the most part. Like you got practice, you got weights, you got film, and then that's like the just mandatory stuff. And then you got the time you putting in extra, if you putting in extra work. You got the time you got to do homework, the time you got to recover, like take ice baths, all kind of stuff. Like it's like a full-time job, really, like how people say it is.
Yeah, 100%.
What were your goals heading into Alcorn your freshman year?
To be honest, I really didn't have any goals. You know, I really didn't even think I was going to play, like, at all. I thought I was going to redshirt, you know, because it was 6 or 7 people, you know, in front of me that's already been there. It's older. But, you know, I regret having that mindset because, you know, once we got on the field, you know, that's when I started to believe, like, I can actually play. So that's one of the things I regret, you know, going into, you know, college is just, like, having that mindset, like, oh, you're not going to play, just, you know, chill. But, yeah.
That's kind of similar to like how I was, honestly. Like I didn't really have many goals. I just wanted to make sure I got on the floor my freshman year. Like I didn't want to be like I just didn't want to be a freshman that just was sitting really. Like I didn't want to just not be on the court. But I didn't really take advantage of like my opportunities. Like I was kind of in my own head, honestly, like for the most part, like in my freshman year. Like how you said you didn't really have goals, it was kind of the same. Like I was just kind of just like trying to do whatever I could to get on the floor and just like just trying to do what I could just to show that I was able to compete. But I think that's something that a lot of like that's why it's real hard to just play. That's why it's really hard to play as a freshman, honestly. Like that's why in football for sure you always hear true freshman. Like it's a big role. Talk about being a true freshman. Talk about what you did your freshman year.
Shoot. Oh, man. Shoot. I didn't think it would be, you know, I didn't think my year would be like this, you know. And it really didn't hit me until, you know, I had, you know, kids coming up to me after the games and be like, oh, can I get a picture? You know, fans coming up to me after the games, can I get a picture with you? Good job. It was crazy. Like, I didn't think I would be as big as I am. Not saying that I'm like a celebrity or anything, but I just didn't think I would have the impact that I did, you know, going into my freshman year, you know. And I was nervous. I was nervous as heck, like, you know, because I got a big role, and I'm only 18 years old, you know. Especially when I started, the starter who got hurt, and that's when I was a starter. And shoot, I was nervous. I was scared, you know, because I couldn't mess up, like. And then I'm young, so this is my first time, like, you know, ever playing college ball, and I'm, you know, playing like as much as I did. So it took a lot, man, and you know, I'm just glad that it happened the way it did. I got all SWAC, first team. I was on the freshman, dang, where was it? Freshman All-American list. Shoot, I had just under 1,000 yards, you know, just from my freshman year. And shoot, I played a big role. So.
Talk to me about how you just stayed prepared and you were able to fill in that role behind your teammate that was injured and taking over the starting spot.
Really shout out to him because, you know, anytime I had a question, anytime I had trouble with something, you know, I would always come to him. And, you know, he would tell me what to do, how I could, you know, perfect whatever I'm doing, perfect that task. So really just, you know, depending on him. And that's what really, you know, kept me, you know, prepared for that role, you know, because I would always ask him, you know, anything, because he was the starter, so I wanted to know everything he knew, how he did it, and, you know, whatnot. So I was just always under him, and shoot, he took me under his wings, and shoot, from there on, I was just always, you know, prepared for really any task that they threw at me.
How tough was your fall camp, like starting off your freshman year? And how tough is like strength and conditioning, all that kind of stuff at the D1 level as a football player?
if you're already, prepared going into, the fall season, or, going into that summer, and you're already prepared, and it's not really hard at all as far as the conditioning part, because you already, in shape. But weight room wise, it's definitely way different than high school, I would say. You have a lot of more people in there. You have a lot more people pushing you. It's strict, way more strict than high school. So you always gotta, be on your A game. But yeah, it wasn't really tough, because I was really prepared for anything they threw at me. I had to adjust to as far as the weight room, but as far as conditioning and going over plays and stuff, that just came naturally to me. So it wasn't really that hard. Is it different for you than high school and college?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even touch weights in high school. Like in my high school, it was kind of just like we did preseason conditioning, and then we just got right on the court and just got into all our stuff for the season. But so throughout high school, we didn't have any structured weights. I did like some strength and conditioning stuff with like my dad and like some other people, really like stuff at home, just little stuff like that. But one, I wasn't really like I was taking basketball serious, but I didn't know how important it was to lift weights. And like at that time, like since I didn't know it was important, I wasn't going to like make myself do it. Like now it's like I still don't really like lifting weights, but I do it because I know that it's important and it can help you. Like it helps everything. It helps you, like it helps your frame. It helps you just stay fit. It helps you be able to make it through a whole season. Like you got to have strong muscles to make it through a whole season. Football, I'm sure, is even more because you're taking hits, playing running back. I feel it's even more. So like it's a lot different than football, but it's kind of the same.
I was gonna ask you, does that weight room, help as far as anything on the court?
Yeah, I mean for sure. Like I'm not really that big of not that big of a guy, but I mean, in March, when coronavirus kind of started and I was at home, I started like lifting weights and like eating seriously and stuff like that. And I was at like around 170 pounds. And from March, April, May, June, July, all the way until it's time to come back to school, I just worked hard. I lifted 4 to 5 times a week. I was eating right. And I could see a big difference in my body. Like now I'm sitting at close to like around 180, so I kind of put on about 10 pounds. And like just so far and workouts and stuff has helped me like finishing through contact, just all kind of stuff, like taking bumps, like it definitely helps. And then just in general, like when we started lifting weights with the team, it's kind of like not like I'm kind of ahead because when you lift weights, you got to have like a certain technique. Like you could be strong, but if you don't know how to lift weights, then you're gonna struggle. And you could be some like not as strong, but if you got good technique, you could do a lot more. So just the little stuff like that, I think is really paying off, like on the court, and then also just like in the weight room with my technique, stuff like that.
100%.
What are your goals for this season coming up, and how are things been different so far, like with coronavirus going on and how we have to practice different rules?
So as far as my goals, just do everything, 110 times better than what I did last year. As far as, rushing yards, receiving yards, yards per carry, just, bettering myself, from my freshman year, because I'm in competition with myself. So that's what I want to do is just, do better than what I did my freshman year. So, and another, long-term goal is, do what Tyreek Cohen did, who went to North Carolina A&T. As far as getting as many yards as he did, maybe even surpass him, because he's one of the big time players in, you know, the HBCU world, because he's playing in the NFL right now. So, you know, I just want to, you know, have my standards, you know, that high. So, you know, one day I can possibly, you know, go to the NFL. And for the second question, it's way different because we've never had anything like this before. Like, you know, as far as we got to work out different, we have to condition different, you know, everything is just different. And we just, at this point, we just have to go with the flow because this has never happened before besides in the 1920s where they had the swine flu or the Spanish flu. But, you know, it's different. So everybody's just going with the flow. It's going to be interesting on see how, you know, they do everything. So
I think it's definitely going to be interesting. Like, both of our seasons are on a different timetable. Usually y'all would be playing right now. Usually we would be getting ready to start playing. But now our season's starting in January, and it's going to go into the end of the school year. And y'all is starting in February. It'll be the same way. Probably just a little bit shorter because we play more games. But, I mean, it's the same. It's all different. Everything different, for sure.
How are y'all practicing? Are y'all still doing, you know, full team, you know, workouts? Are y'all breaking them up into, you know, A team, B team?
At
Or is
first,
everybody working together?
when we first got here, we didn't work out for like a good week and a half, and then we started off doing like 6 players at a time because there's 6 baskets in the gym. Everybody to their own basket. You can only touch your own ball. We got to get our own rebounds, stuff like that. So we just started off doing that. We did that for like 2 weeks, and then like probably a week ago, we started doing stuff with the full team, like more group stuff, like being able to rebound for each other and stuff like that. And then we did like more drills like that, and then we just started playing 5-on-5. So like now it's kind of back to normal. It's just like it's not really like a practice yet. It's just like kind of workouts and just kind of getting in shape and stuff. But we'll start our official practices probably in October, getting ready for the season for real.
Okay. Well, we haven't done anything yet, so I can't really tell you how different it is or how they're gonna handle it because, you know, we start tomorrow, so we'll just see.
What motivates you to keep going after you've had so much success this far?
My dad, man. My dad was he was the man on campus at FAMU. You know, all the stories he would tell me about, you know, what he did and you know, the success he had on the field. So really my dad, you know, he keeps me motivated. He keeps me, you know, on the right track. You know, he tells me, you know, don't get the big head, you know, just because you did what you did, you know, your freshman year, you know, you got to keep going. And, you know, I just want to have, you know, that level of success that he had, especially at HBCU, because, you know, if he wouldn't have got injured, he was 9 times out of 10 going to the league. And, so that really keeps me motivated and keeps me sane, you know, allows me not to get the big head.
Shout out to Pops, man.
Shout out to Chuck.
Shout out to Gerald, man. What would be your number one piece of advice to somebody that's just trying to make it and whatever they're trying to do?
You know, like I said earlier, just stay focused, you know, stay with your number one goal in mind, you know, try to reach whatever goal you're getting to. Stay ambitious, you know, just stay determined, stay focused, stay ambitious, you know, keep going until you reach your goal. And even when you reach your goal, just go even higher, you know, set the bar.
All right, now we're going to do the speed round. Couple quick questions to wrap it up. What's your number one thing to do in your free time?
Play Fortnite.
Oh, my gosh, man.
Play with Dylan. Shout out Dylan.
Shout out Dylan, man. Dylan, my little brother. He all right at Fortnite. Nah, Dylan like that. Shout out Dylan. Who are your top 5 favorite rappers out right now?
Future, Dirk, Tusi, T Grizzly, And I say Jack Boy right now.
What do you see yourself doing after football?
Well, my major right now is nutrition and dietetics. So, I might want to, be a registered dietitian or a clinical dietitian, especially because I'm an athlete, tell people what to put in their body, how it's good for their body, and what they shouldn't put in their body. So I kind of want to go in that kind of career path. But, if that doesn't work out, I don't know. Football got to work out. If not that.
What was your favorite play of the season last year?
Probably it had to be Southern game, SWAC championship. It was the inside zone. I made 2 people miss. And this one guy, he tried to sling me, but he tried to sling me to the ground, but he slung me forward, and I kept going, and I was just dragging him, and I got about 30 yards. So that was probably one of my best plays.
Will the Bucks be in the Super Bowl this year?
100%. 100%. I don't know why you asked that question. They're going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Bucks in the Super Bowl in the city? They're going to win it
in the city. It has to happen, bro. Tampa Bay, Super Bowl is in Tampa. You can't write a better story.
You got to handle it. Tampa Tom got to handle it.
He got to, man. Tommy Guns.
Oh, fuck. What do you want to improve on the most on the field this year?
Making the second level defender miss, making that safety miss, because once I make him miss, it's touchdown. You can't stop me. So that's one of my main goals as far as going into the season, just making that second level defender miss.
Were you better than your dad was when he was at FAM?
I don't know. I've seen a few highlights. He always tells me that, I'm better than him. But, I don't think I'm on that level yet, because I'm just a sophomore, so I'm not sure. But I think at some point I will be better than him. But at the moment, I don't think so. Not yet.
Feel you. All right, the last question. If you guys spend a day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
3 people, dead or alive. Barry Sanders, Jeff Bezos, and Nip.
That's tough. Well, all right, my brother. I think that's it for the show. Thank you for being on here. Tell everybody where they can find you, Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff.
It's Niko Duffey. My Twitter and Instagram, NIKODUFFEY. That's it.
My dog.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, bro.